Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and it's an exciting day because we are getting an official look from Blizzard around this new patch, a very big update and a very big deal for the future of Diablo Immortal. So kick your feet up, grab something to drink. We're going to go through and we are going to talk about this and give you context for everything coming in this big patch here in a few days probably. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so as you can see, we've got the September 21st, this dropping just today, just recently, and we've got Well Met Adventurer. Welcome to Forgotten Nightmares, our first major update for Diablo Immortal. Before we begin to unfold all that's coming in this milestone, we want to thank you for the many hours you've spent saving Sanctuary from demonic threats and for your continued support. We are eternally grateful for the feedback many of you have provided since launch, much of which has been incorporated into Diablo Immortal and our future plans as we continue to release frequent content updates. There will be server maintenance starting on September 27th, 6 days from now. And okay, they give the times and specific dates. Okay, so yeah, basically 6 days from now, expect the maintenance to happen and for some of the stuff to go live. The Forgotten Nightmares major content update is our largest to date. Join lead game designer Joe Grubb and associate game designer Steven Stewart as they shed some light on the new dungeon Silent Monastery, so a new dungeon coming. Gloom Guides prize item set, so a new set bonus coming to the game, and the Castle Syriangar Warband exploration system. So big expansion to the warband, doing more stuff than just the Heliquary raids and stuff like that. Be sure to read on after watching the video. So they've got looks like a 3-minute video for us to check out here, and let's go ahead and do that.
Hey Diablo Immortal players, we're glad you're here as we take you through some of the details of our next major update. I'm Joe Grubb, lead game designer on Diablo Immortal.
And I'm Steven Stewart, associate game designer.
First, we wanted to recap our commitment to deliver fresh content to you. You can anticipate seeing content updates such as Battle Pass seasons, in-game events, feature updates, and more. For this major update, in addition to new gameplay, features, and in-game events, I'm excited to introduce the Silent Monastery, our first new dungeon. Relive the history of the Zakrum Crusades with a new story quest to guide you, where you'll part the mists of Mountains of Ain to cleanse an ancient temple before its darkness consumes the land. Speaking of darkness, the dungeon introduces a new mechanic around light and dark. You'll need to ignite the temple statues to have a chance against the nightmare hordes. And finally, what's a new dungeon without a terrifying new end boss? Stand toe-to-toe with the soul of the ancient nightmare itself in a multi-stage and environment-changing battle. Are you ready? To get geared up for the formidable challenges ahead, I'll pass it over to Steven to share the latest news on items.
Over the last couple of months, we have introduced 2 rounds of new legendary items for all classes, and we've enjoyed seeing how players have theory crafted these items into highly effective builds, bolstering their day-to-day combat, Heliquary raids, and dungeon runs. However, for this update, we are incredibly excited to shake things up even further by introducing an entirely new set. There are currently 8 sets in the game that have seen wide use by all players, assuming different roles within their parties and further modifying their preferred playstyle. We believe this new set will only further add to the excitement of hunting upgrades and uncovering new ways to play Immortal. Our new set is called Gloom Guides Prize and focuses primarily on skills that we classify as dashes, essentially your movement skills. When you commit to this set, these movement skills amplify your entrances or escapes from battle in both powerful and unique ways, sowing chaos and destruction with every moment of combat. That's the latest on items. Joe, what's next for warbands?
This major update also lets you expand your new warband castle with a new exploration system, where you'll work through 16 rooms of monsters to find valuable heirlooms to buff your warband against the demons of the Heliquary. Running explorations through the rooms can be done with 2 to 8 members, and if you reach the final room, Additional rewards can be gathered from a boss battle. And that wraps it up. Thanks for joining us for this quick update. We'll see you all in Westmarch.
Okay, cool. I've got some thoughts on that, but yeah, warbands aren't going anywhere. So we'll have to see if that ends up being a good thing or a bad thing. Warbands have been extremely underwhelming and not very well liked by the player base in general. So let's see if these changes, this new castle mechanic, the new raids, and some of the bonuses coming around warbands will be worth it or not. So, okay, we've got new dungeon, and we're gonna expand on that a little bit more with the Silent Monastery. Now, first of all, they do a pretty good job with the dungeons aesthetically, and they've all got different mechanics and different things going on, and they look pretty cool. They just have so much downtime. Like, like, it's cool the first couple times you do them, but when you're grinding these dungeons hundreds of times, the cutscenes and the dialogue and the super mundane mechanics of some of them, like sitting on the raft for 3 minutes or listening to the Temple of Namari dialogue for 2 minutes, like some of the stuff can get really bogged down when you're trying to do this stuff a lot. So hopefully this new dungeon doesn't have much of that stuff. But we've got Foreboding, a black mist originating from the Silent Monastery. An ancient Saptev temple is rolling off the peaks of Mount Zavane and creeping into Sentinel's Watch, threatening to encase the entire zone in incomprehensible darkness. In this new dungeon, players who are level 60 and above can group up in parties of 2 to 4, all of that perfectly normal, to relive the history of the Zakarum Crusades through the lands of Eve-Garad. The inside of the Silent Monastery is home to Eternal Night, making it nearly impossible to navigate. Fortunately, some of the temple's statues can be illuminated, making haste in lighting these statues. They are the only thing that can weaken the nightmarish demons lurking in the shadows. As you light additional statues and get rid of the dungeon monsters, the darkness will be cast out of that area for good. That's kind of a fun mechanic. I like the idea there. Once you've flooded the temple with light, there is but one direction to head. Lead into the obsidian heart of the Silent Monastery. Going toe-to-toe with the ancient nightmare in its lair will be no easy task if you can survive an unrelenting flurry of empowered shadow blasts and ghastly spike attacks. A lion's share of rewards will be granted. Lion's share of rewards in some of these set dungeons could be debated. I'm sure a lot of you would say that. Some of these set dungeons, you run them for like 2 or 3 hours and you get nothing. So hopefully that as well gets adjusted in some of these dungeons. And then next up, it's got Castle Syriangar. Now this looks like this is the warband thing. You've got Reliquary Raid, room management. Yeah, they're adding the new room. The warband camp was a little bit underwhelming. And then they've got ancestral weapons and stuff right here too. So in the outskirts of Westmarch lies an ancient fortress rife with unspeakable horrors to extinguish, mysterious secrets to uncover, and if you're successful, a new place for your warband to call home, Castle Syriangar. This warband exploration experience will replace warband camps and introduce 2 replayable game modes along with passive bonuses that can be upgraded as you secure and defend your castle. Before moving further into the specifics of Castle Syriangar, we want to introduce a large-scale improvement. We want to introduce large-scale improvements to how warbands will function. A big part of this patch features new game modes, unique rewards, and more progression systems focused on warbands. Additionally, we want to remove all major pain points players have expressed about warbands while simultaneously providing better rewards for players who choose to take part. So the requirement to slay monsters with your warband to establish the camp has been removed. Nice. We have lowered the threshold for warband reliquary raids from 8 to 4 people. That's amazing. It's really hard to get 8 people on at the same time. So that's really cool that you can do it with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great change there. If there are at least 4 members in the raid from the same warband, the raid can be filled by anyone else. Okay, so you still do need 8 players, but for the warband raid to count, you just need 4. Okay, all in all, still a great change. Completing the raid this way will still yield the warband rewards for the warband members. Awesome. Successfully completing a warband reliquary raid for the first time will now grant warband members an additional 400% drop rate increase for sealed warband chests. This bonus resets every 7 days. And to begin the quest to bring Castle Syriangar under your warband's banner, you must be at least level 20, be part of a warband, and speak to Valstus in Westmarch Ruckus Plaza. Castle Syriangar contains 3 main areas of emphasis for players to engage with: Purging the Depths, warband rooms, and the defense of Syriangar. And it looks like they're going to go over those because you've got Purging the Depths, and then right here, that is this right here. So upon arriving in Castle Syriangar, Your warband will realize that there are still some unwanted occupants taking up residence in the castle's bowels. You must purge them from your new home. As you crush, incinerate, and eviscerate your way through rooms of undead threats, you'll come across restless spirits that are bound to rot here for all eternity. It's up to you to set them free by first defeating them, severing the connection with their tormented vessel, and cleansing their remnants. Each of the remnants provides unique bonuses that are applied to your character. You can traverse randomized dark underbelly of Castle Syriangar alone or with up to 7 other, so you can do it like 1 through 8, it looks like. That's pretty cool. And then you've got room management. So these are going to be the different bonuses that you can get based on the different warband leveling up and rating that you're doing while you're defending and stuff. You got movement speed here, which is great. Damage reduction, damage done, resurrecting quicker. Some cool bonuses at least here. 3% when you use a health potion. That's kind of eh. I think it should be allies get a certain amount of regen per second for like 5 seconds after you use a health potion or something, because that's going to be a little bit hard to maintain. But anyway, it looks like some pretty interesting bonuses at least. Once you've cleared your castle of unwanted guests, additional rooms will become available for you and your warband members to occupy. Each room has its own variety of unique bonuses that it provides to the occupant. Who occupies which room is up to your warband leader. They can assign and unassign players at will. A player is still able to unassign themselves from a warband room at any time. Players will receive the benefits of their room for as long as they occupy it, but cannot occupy more than one room at a time. Warband rooms can be upgraded by placing remnants received from purging the depths of Castle Syriangar. Doing so will provide that respective room with additional bonuses. So yeah, we're definitely going to want to level up like the movement speed one very fast, because that's going to be... So like, I wonder... So like there's only one person, so you have to pick like one person in your warband that's going to get each bonus. I'm a little bit unclear on how that works, but that would be... I don't know if I would like that very much. But they move on to talk about the defense of Syriangar, which is now your warband has renovated the castle and settled in. Word has gotten back to the enemies of the Burning Hells who want the stronghold for themselves. They're coming in full force, so you'll need to work in unison with your warband to hold back the infernal tide of demonic destruction headed straight for your castle's front gate. Defense of Syriangar has 2 modes. Standard, which can be played once a week, and in this mode, players must withstand 8 waves of bloodthirsty demons. If your warband successfully staves off the hellspawn, you'll receive rewards and experience for holding the line firm. Now, we've also got an endless mode, which can be played at any time. And in this mode, warbands will receive a score based on how many heavy-hitting waves of demons they can survive. A little bit like a greater rift mechanic in Diablo 3, where you can just keep going higher and higher. It's endless, and then there's kind of like a leaderboard probably or something like that. This mode, yep, has an accompanying leaderboard, so you can see how your warband stacks up against others. Okay, this is kind of cool. Additionally, the top warbands will receive Sirengar Defense Portrait Frame for their tenacity. Then we've got ancestral weapons. Now, okay, so this is a pretty big update to warbands. This is a lot of stuff coming to the game, and they are really doubling down on warbands. This is a lot more than I expected for changes to warbands. So this looks like some sort of place where you can put items in and your entire warband is going to benefit from it. Okay, so purging the depths of Syriangar and defending it from an assault yield valuable rewards. While participating in these game modes, you'll have a chance to find ancestral weapons. To harness the power of these weapons, place them on your ancestral tableau located in the heart of Castle Syriangar. Once placed, ancestral weapons will confer a portion of their attributes, such as strength, intelligence, and vitality, onto all members of your warband. See, that's better. I like how it's just a universal thing that you can all enjoy as a group. Each warband member can only place one ancestral weapon in the tableau, so work together with your fellow warband members to assemble the best ancestral weapons you can find to power up all warband members. The action of placing items into your ancestral tableau and providing a portion of their attributes to all members of your warband does not require anyone else but yourself to be online. Okay, that's cool. In addition to bonus attributes, you can also call upon special powers from the warband's ancestral weapons while donning invocation gear. While participating in Castle Syriangar activities, gear that drops has a chance to possess an additional invocation property. Invocation gear can be equipped to your character in its respective item slot to receive the benefit and trigger the ability of your ancestral weapon. Mix and match your invocation gear with the ancestral weapon of your choice to further customize your build. So, okay, just gonna have a lot more legendary attribute type things going on here. And they give an example. Your ancestral weapon might provide the property deal lightning damage to surrounding enemies. When combined with an invocation, such as chance to trigger your ancestral property when you deal damage. Okay, so your items will have a chance to like interact with your ancestral tableau where you're placing all this stuff from your warband. So yeah, lots more customization options for sure. And we are already coming up on Season 5 Battle Pass, Scions of the Storm. So I think this is going to be like the aesthetic in the game. Looks really cool. Especially if this stuff is very electrified. It's going to be pretty cool. I like that. Sanctuary's denizens believe that the sheer power of a squall cannot be controlled. Only nature can truly govern itself. But you are born of the elements, adventurer, and thus the winds have shifted in your favor. Sharing your desire to rid Sanctuary of its invaders and restore balance, it is time to surrender yourself to the chaos. Take time, time to take your place among the Scions of the Storm. So basically, a new battle pass is going to be starting on September 29th. That means it's time to update our tier list over at DiabloPro.gg. We do that every time there is a new season to keep it as current as we can. And it's going to be the exact same thing. You have the 40 ranks and the different tiers and stuff like that. With the empowered pass and all that stuff, this is perfectly normal. You all know the drill there. So the battle only runs until October 27th. Yep. So, okay. September 29th to October 27th, all the battle pass stuff is perfectly normal. Then we have a new Reliquary raid boss, okay? The important thing you're going to want to know is the combat rating. So, combat rating of 6175. And beginning October 2nd. So, a new warband raid, October 2nd at 6175. Most of you are not going to be anywhere close to 6175, but by the time this comes out, some of the higher level, more dedicated, higher spenders will be probably close to that, but it's going to be a little bit to get to that for most of us. Provide you with an additional, okay. Oh, nice, okay. 10% while inside challenge rifts only. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate, but yep, okay. And then we've got Scouring the Darkness, a limited time event. Okay, so the mist surrounding the Silent Monastery and Castle Syriangar might have faded, but now find yourself lost scouring the darkness for a path forward. Twisted beings promise curses of the weak and power for the worthy that tempt to push further. Who knows? So band together with your warband to slay your way to safety along as you complete tasks and earn a variety of awards, including the congratulations emote. So I mean, I'm all for some of these events, like the Hungry Moon one. We already know the drill there, that this is like the 10th Hungry Moon. Let me see if there's anything worth covering here. Crowned ones. That also looks kind of cool. I like that cosmetic set, but it's kind of immortal-ish, like Immortal Rain-ish. And then we've got, so same, 1,000 Eternal Orbs, bug fixes, okay, and then feature updates. This will be important to go over, because we are getting 3 new legendary gems, and then players will modify Elder Rift. Okay, so you're also going to be able to choose when you do an Elder Rift to increase the chance of 50% to get the new Frozen Heart 5-star gem. Now, the new ones we've got, so is this a 1-star, a 2-star? Yeah, okay. So the first one, a 1-star, increase the duration of all benefit effects on you by 12% and increase movement speed by 8%. And then we don't see how it upgrades and stuff, but that's pretty cool for a 1-star gem. And then we've got a 2-star, your attacks of 50% to cursed enemies, reducing their attack speed, reducing their attack and movement speed by 35% for 8 seconds. Cursed enemies also take 10% increased damage from your attacks. Okay. Cannot curse the same target. I mean, that'd be pretty good for boss fights and stuff, for sure. I just wish it was like a party-wide buff, maybe. And then the new 5-star gem, when you take damage, activate a frigid shield for 6 seconds that chills enemy attackers and absorbs damage equal to 360% of your base damage plus 1458. Frigid shield also grants your attacks a 60% chance to chill enemies. I could see this being pretty good for PvP, to be able to slow things, chill things, grant shield, and then, yeah, could definitely have some roles for like Vault Defense or Rite of Exile or Battlegrounds. And then we get a little bit more clarification on the new set. So the 2-piece is going to be increase your damage done by 15% for 3 seconds after using a dash. And then increase your crit by 22.5 for 3 seconds after using a dash. And unleash a wave of terror when your dash skill ends, dealing X damage and causing enemies to flee for 3 seconds. So you could see a scenario where like a demon hunter vaults in, drops down, and causes everything to be CC'd with fear while they stand there with increased crit chance and increased damage. So it's kind of designed to be a mechanic where you dash in to initiate and then deal damage to things that are CC'd a little bit once every 40 seconds on the 6-piece trigger. That's a little bit long, maybe 20 or 30 seconds, but yeah. It seems interesting. I can't tell what tier this is going to be in. I'm going to want to test this and talk with some other people in the community and stuff. But it seems like it could have a use, especially for something that is like a high damage type build where you have like your teammates CC things and then your demon hunter like vaults in and starts dealing damage. Could be synergistic and interesting. Legendary and rare crest improvements definitely needed on the rare crests, that's for sure. Players can now trade 1600 platinum for 1 legendary crest. This can be done once a week. Trade 200 platinum for a rare quest. This can be done up to 3 times a week. Okay, defend the vault improvements. We are now improving the defend the vault experience by using a queue, like how shadows raid the vault. Great. Players are now able to use the find party feature. That is amazing. I know as immortals it was super lame trying to force these queues and defend the vault. Corvus Expedition variants. The Corvus Expedition immortal activities are gaining variants that can potentially activate during a run. This includes surprise challenges and twists on activities that are enhanced additional rewards. Okay, good. Additional chapters to the hero's journey is fine. New bestiary entries. Okay, cool. And got market adjustments. The time frame in which players can buy items that you have up for sale has been reduced from 12 hours to 3 hours. Okay. Interesting. And then the time frame in which players can resell items has been reduced from 7 to 2 days. Thank goodness. Like, that's ridiculous. First of all, it shouldn't even be 2 days. It should be like 12 hours. You know, like, make the market more fun. Spice it up a little bit. I understand you don't want people flipping stuff all day, constantly, every day, but there's already a tax. Like, so yeah, I mean, this is great. This is a step in the right direction, but lower it even more. And then we've got the bundle updates. Has been changed to 320 orbs, 315 to 320. And then 630 to 650. Okay. Okay, cool. That's the end of it. Wow. Okay, so a lot going on here. The interesting thing is that they're doubling down on the warbands. They're changing how the market works, and they're making a new set and a new dungeon and all of that. I like where they're going with more customization and more warband buffs. Some of the stuff we're gonna have to jump in and see it in game and start farming it, and then give you updates on what some of the best blessings are and some of the best customizations and stuff like that. We'll have to get a post on this on diablopro.gg to figure out exactly what all these options are gonna be, and I will definitely do my best to keep you in the loop. I know this video is already going super long. All in all, I'd give this patch so far, based on what I see, like a 7 out of 10. It's not super underwhelming. It's not perfect. So yeah, I would be at like a 7 out of 10. And all in all, I'm excited to dive in and test some of this stuff. So let me know what you think down below. Always love to hear your opinions on stuff like this. And that'll do it for me on this one. As always, remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy Diablo Immortal content. And I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.